Barry Manilow is a music legend, and now the new musical Harmony from Manilow and longtime collaborator Bruce Sussman is making its long-awaited Broadway debut. It tells the story of the comedian Harmonists, 6 Jewish and Gentile singers who became the biggest music sensation of pre-Nazi Germany. Let's send it out to Paul Wontorek.
That's right, Tamsin. Barry Manilow and Bruce Sussman can't wait for audiences to meet the 6 gents chosen to play the real-life comedian Harmonists in their new musical, Harmony. I sat down with all the guys here at the Triad Theater. So happy to see you all here together, ready for Broadway. I have to tell you, Barry and Bruce, I've been writing professionally about Broadway for over 30 years, and most of that time I've been waiting to hear that Harmony was opening.
I'm so sorry. We have too.
Also, guys, I mean, the artwork, you actually get your faces in the artwork, which is not, that doesn't happen all the time. It looks great. You're on the theater, the front of house. What's it like actually seeing that this musical is here? Any of you?
We went at 9 a.m. on the day that they put the marquee up. And up until then, we weren't sure what was actually going to be on there. And we had this moment of just being like, it's us, it's us. And we just kept on shrieking in glee.
I'll still have times where it absolutely surprises me. I walk down the street, I'm like, oh yeah, that exists. Like, that's there, that's our faces.
And it's still there, like it hasn't gone.
Yeah, it wasn't just a dream.
It is happening.
I guess we're all feeling the same thing. Yeah. Even us old folks, that we're feeling the same thing. This finally is happening, and there's a marquee that says all of our names and pictures. It's actually happening.
It's been a long haul, and everything that could have gotten in our way got in our way. People say, why did it take so long? I think it's the wrong question. The fact is, you know this, every step of the gauntlet could be a death sentence. You could do a reading, that's the end. You could survive the reading and do a workshop, that's the end. And every single one of those steps we survived multiple times. The reason why we didn't lose heart was that we just loved the piece and we loved the characters, and we thought we want to do whatever we can so that someone goes to a theater and learns who the comedian Harmonists were and maybe remembers them. The last lyrics of the show are now, remember the stars in the night. That's who they were, and that's our appeal. Remember these guys, because they were really worth remembering.
Was this a big audition? And what were the first impressions? Everyone knew that Barry and Bruce wrote this musical, but what was it like actually getting in front of them?
You know, at first it was a little intimidating. You get the breakdown and you realize, wow, this is a big project with Barry on board, with Bruce on board, with Warren on board. Like, wow, this could change my life. But after you read the material and you read the story and understand what the show is about, it really became much more focused on that, right? You go into the room, you do your job, and you tell the story to the best of your ability. And honestly, it's been a pleasure, a treat.
How soon after your first audition did you think you had it?
Oh, I don't think that I thought I had it the whole way through until I got the phone call that I knew.
How about you, Danny?
My final day, I went in, and right before they were like, so you're gonna be reading with Sierra Boggess. And up until then I had no idea. And so I like took a moment being like, okay, cool. She's literally the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. One of the most talented. And I went in and I did my thing, and I remember leaving, and Warren came out and sat next to me, and he said, you have so many fans in that room. And I just had the feeling, I think I knew then.
It was truly a really welcoming room, going off of fans. All of them were behind the table. Ken, Warren, Bruce, Barry either was there or on Zoom. And it was just such a friendly, nurturing room where they just wanted the best work that we could provide.
Harmony, unforgettable harmony.
In terms of authenticity of sound, these six by a mile.
What kind of recordings, what kind of artifacts are there? I know there's a documentary film.
And over the years, when the recordings became illegal, the 78s, people hid them under their beds. They came out one by one after the war and became LPs, and then they became cassettes and CDs, and we have those. And those were our records.
They're always repeated because they didn't survive. Most of those records didn't survive. So there's about 12, and that's it. That's all you get of their original songs.
But the sound is so unique. And as Barry and I keep on reminding ourselves, there was no auto-tune. This was a needle dropped on wax. And that was it. And if it wasn't right, you threw that one out.
And they're always in tune.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Eric made us a playlist for, I think it's called Harmony Warm Up, and it's their music. And it's just so unique. And to be able to attempt to emulate that sound is incredible.
What was it like to actually get into a rehearsal room and develop a chemistry with each other? I mean, you're fantastic. I feel like people will be doing reunions of you all for the rest of time.
We've been working together for 2 years now, the six of us. Started September 2021, workshops into the off-Broadway production, masks, completely, full on in the middle of COVID. And I think Warren Carlyle just bringing that energy into the space, the specificity of his direction and choreography, let us explore, let us try to find what is funny, what fails, what's funnier than that, and that's how we found things.
But also wanting to bring so much of ourselves, and the six of us are very different people. And I think like through rehearsal, through this whole journey, like we have found such love for one another. And so like getting to be on this train together, 5 of us are making our debuts. It's so incredibly special. And it's very similar to what the actual comedian Harmonists did
parallel
too.
process.
They came from all different backgrounds and came together to create this.
Yeah.
I think there's a real reason it's called Harmony. That, like Danny was mentioning, that so many different people from different walks of life with different experiences could come together and create something so beautiful and something that has lasted throughout the course of history, and now I think will forever with us telling this story. I think that is a huge message and takeaway from the show.
We have a responsibility to these men and how they've also become, strangely, some of the most important people in our lives. And we've never met them and we never will, but they're just now such a part of us.
And I mean, it's one thing to be able to do all of these things and perform and have these wonderful moments, but it's another thing to like have people that you love that you can celebrate it with too. I mean, that's the biggest thing for me, is to be able to do this and do it with people that I feel like I'm lock in step with and like our hearts are beating at the same pulse.